Good morning. It's me, Annalisa, with my spiritual friend. I'm back. It's Sunday, March 1st. Happy March. I don't know how many people are going to show up today. Any of my regulars are going to be here. I want to talk about what's going on in Iran. Oh, forgot that over there. I want to talk about what's going on in Iran, or Iran, however you want to say it. Sorry, just going to do that. No, that's annoying. Is that annoying? So who's here? Say hello. There's like somebody who's at Chris Bledsoe apparently was predicting that like the aliens are going to start showing themselves. I don't know that this is like everybody's like, oh, it's going to be World War III. It's not going to be World War III. It's just another stupid thing that colonialism does, where the rich people are still trying to gain access to resources that would benefit their pockets. I think they're barking up the wrong tree right now, though. So, but not going to be World War III. Just another stupid war at the cost of everybody who's impoverished, has less money, the rest of the world, besides these stupid assholes. I won't call them elites anymore. I don't like that. They're not elite. Just dickheads. Say hello. We did a really cool in my community. I think it was really cool. Like a class about sort of figuring out who you are and who you want to step into, your self-concept. Good morning, Misty. Hello. You were there. I thought it was really cool. I also thought it was really cool that you were able to sort of recognize that when you're making changes, where you feel it in your body, where you feel the resistance, and that like the ideas are really great to want to step into, but it can be hard, and you can sort of feel it when you're consciously like thinking about it and questioning where it is and what you want, and really not just like daydreaming, but like actually putting it into action and figuring out like, oh, that is a little scary. I do feel that, where that could be, am I really ready to let go of this? Tell me about what's going on with you. How are you, Misty? It's sunny there today. It's snowy here today. But I just sent my friend a text. It was I took a picture of the weather thing because it said on the weather it was like tomorrow. Tomorrow is like it's going to be the coldest day until next winter, and I highlighted it and I sent it to her, and I was like, if I was a church girl, I would say, "Hallelujah, praise baby Jesus." And then she said next Tuesday is going to be 75 degrees. I was like, sundresses. Whoever else is here, say good morning. I wish it was super sunny and warm here, but after tomorrow it's going to be, well, rainy and warm, but I'll take it. As long as it's getting warmer, that's all I care about. I feel like I left Wisconsin 25 years ago to go to Texas because I was so like over just the really cold winters, because I was in northern Wisconsin. I was just done with it. And I went to Austin and lived with my sister for a few years, lived in Houston. And I came up this way. And I just really like in 2006. So I've been here 20 years. And I just really, really appreciate like the moderate. People here don't think it's moderate, but I think it's moderate compared to the extremes I've lived in. Like, and there's 4 seasons because I love the fall. I don't want to be without the fall. Spring is okay. I just don't like how wet it is. Who else is here? Say hello. Do you have any questions you want to do like some world events questions? Somebody, this woman who's followed me for a while, it was very kind of her. She sent me a nice little bonus, and she wanted to know about the Yahuzi. So I sort of need to and whether or not Europe would grant them asylum. So I need to email her about that. Hi, Nicola. How are you? Um, so do y'all have any, do you just want to do, I mean, if it's just the two of you, I'll do free readings for you today. I didn't come prepared with anything to talk about. I did. Okay. So yesterday, this is, Misty knows this, but, cause she's in the community and I sort of share like random things in the community about like what's working for me or not. But yesterday, so I have this habit, I'm a procrastinator and that's probably undiagnosed ADHD. Yay. I work really well under pressure. But I was like doing last minute things. Like I was making cupcakes for my daughter's party. They always like when I make them. And she had just said she wanted them, like she would have been okay with it if it was like just red and yellow swirl on it because she's had a little Winnie the Pooh theme. She's in love with Winnie the Pooh. And I decided to do what I've done before in the past where I printed out all the little faces and then you outline it on parchment. So I outlined the Winnie the Pooh face and then you put frosting on top of it and you ended up like I put it in the fridge for like a half hour so it gets firm and then you peel it off and stick it on top of the cupcake. So I did that for her, but I was like, at first I was like doing the panicking thing, like, oh my God, because the outlines were a little harder, but I realized I should just, after doing one, I was like, oh, I should let it harden and then I can pick off the things that are imperfect because they were still imperfect, but they were way more imperfect before. Anyway, so so I was like panicking and then doing like, can I get it all done? Like I had to go over, my troop had a Girl Scout cookie booth over at the arena, the ice rink. And the girls were with their dad. So I went over to fix April's hair. And I just was like, can I get it all done? I started panicking and then I stopped myself. I was like, no, like I created all of this in the past. Like I created all the like running late and because I just kept deciding that that's how it was going to be and not having it. Like I kept saying on my head, not enough time. So I was like, nope. So I changed my mindset. I was like, I have plenty of time. I can get this done easily. I'll have plenty of time to shower and get ready. Plus I was picking up one of her friends on the way because my friend, her friend's mom wasn't feeling well. And I was just like, how do I get it all done? But I was like, nope, I got it. It's good. And so I just shifted my mindset and it was like, I had plenty of time to shower, got everything done. It was really easy. It was nice and relaxed. So just try that. If there's areas where you panic and you feel like it's been a pattern of panicking or stressing out, just in the moment, just try and shift it. Just an idea. Do y'all want to do free readings today? This is the only two of you. I might as well. Consider it a gift. You're lucky. The universe is gifting you something today. So yeah, so I try to like in the community, I try to share that kind of stuff that it's like happening in real time for me of where it works and why you should try it. I've also noticed some shifting I've been doing with mindset around certain people. I don't want to talk too much about it, but like making sure they show up a certain way so that things are smooth and easy and peaceful. You can decide what that means for you. I don't have this more even. Sorry. I'm going to ask it a different way rather than should you. Hi, resonant depths, not depths. How are you? Oh, hi. How are you? Why do you keep changing your name on me? um, okay. So you can have a free question if you want today, since it's just a few of you. So I'm going to ask it instead of should you, because I like that feels like a weird question to ask because when you're asking your guides, universe, whatever you want to call it, questions and you're connecting with your intuition, it's the same thing with when you ask AI or I just don't want to set my phone off, but or Alexa or whatever, that like how you ask it results in a certain type of answer. So it matters how you word it. And like I know I use Claude um, to help me like with organization of like organizing like how I should break things down for classes and things like that. And uh like when I first started working with it, I would say like, "Oh, I'm a psychic medium," and be like, "Well, we don't believe in that." Like it literally would tell me like that's not real science isn't proven it. And so I had to be like, "Okay, so since you don't believe in that, for pretend," or I would once I clarified like, "Oh, I'm a spiritualist reverend. This is a part of our religious practice." Then they're like, "Oh, okay, we believe in it." So when you say should, it's like, well, there's nothing you should do. So that's like, well, you don't have to, you shouldn't do it. Like it doesn't matter. So we're going to ask it as um, detrimental, or I'm going to put it in the positive. Will it be beneficial for you? Okay. Okay. I'm going to just start telling you what they're saying because so I said, will it be beneficial for her to go and you have a main female guide that's talking right now. And she said, yes, but not in the way she thinks. And I said, why are you being cryptic? Because that's annoying to me. So let me finish that question. Okay. So she said, um, she's like verbatim. I'm like, I'm going to do my best to remember. She said, uh, because there are things that you still need to learn, and you learn best when you problem solve. And if you know the answer ahead of time, then it's not beneficial to you. Verbatim. I got it. I feel like my connection to my guides is getting stronger, but I also feel like I'm making it up. And no. Okay, so sorry, Misty. Sometimes we feel like our guides are being assholes to us. Let's be honest with that. But okay, so um do my guides have my insight guidance info? I should have. Okay, hang on. So I want to answer Donna. I'll get back to you, but I saw Nicola wrote, I feel like my connection is getting strong, but I feel like I'm making it up. I'm going to tell you that I have been doing this over 18 years, like as getting paid for it, right? And I still sometimes feel like I'm making up. Still a lot of the times feel like I'm making up where I'm like, um, so I always ask for validation, like not always, but like now when I sit in this chair, I really just trust I'm just going to give it to you and trust that if it's not, but like literally sometimes to tell you stuff, I'm like, I really feel like I'm making this up. Um, when it's stuff for myself, I'm always like, can you just validate that? So like a very I was at the rink one night and I stayed late to talk to my coaches because there was an incident on the public session over the weekend that I ended up helping out. Like they were both like, we're staying out of this because I don't know. I don't know why. They both work at the rink. And the only reason I stopped to help this one was because I saw her bleeding and I was like, okay, like now I feel like I have to. So in my astrological chart, I am a helper, but it's often to my own detriment. Like, it's like I have, like, if you look at all my places, like, oh, you're a helper. Like, that is like a big role for you in this lifetime, but it can also be to my detriment. So I'm trying to learn balance and like not overextend in the helping category of life. And so I was like, I'm not helping. Somebody who works here can take over that, like can handle this. But then I saw her bleeding and I was like, okay, like I have a medical background. I really, whatever. Anyway, so we were chatting about that and I stayed past the ice cut, which I normally don't do. And there was like hockey guys who came on afterwards. And so I'm still talking. And my guide said that somebody was there that I knew through my daughter's school. And I looked briefly, but I was like, nope, stay focused on your conversation because my intuition pulls me so far out of this experience that I appear very distracted oftentimes or not fully there. That would be distracted. And it's obnoxious, I think. And I try to stay in muggle world. It's hard, but I try to like muggle world, right? And so like first they showed an image of his head of him in my mind's eye. And then they said he was there. And I was like, okay, well, like trying to focus on the conversation. I was very proud of myself walking out of there because I stayed focused. But then when I walked out of the building, they're like, he's here. And I was like, okay, but I have to now go take care of the girls because, that my husband's not living here anymore. We're still married, but like we're in the process of getting divorced. And so like they need an adult figure to get them to bed. So I was like, if you want me to know, then you need to tell me, like validate it somewhere else. Like, I don't understand, just whatever. Also, like, I don't know. It is weird knowing people are around when you don't physically see them. I have to say that. It's not weird. It's just, again, I have to be in muggle world. So the guy like stopped me at one point and was like, hey, I saw you. And then I like was caught off guard and I was like, oh, I acted like I couldn't act like I didn't know what he's talking about. So like immediately I was like, oh yeah. But like, so when you're like you do feel like you're making up or you're not certain or whatever, just ask for validation. It still happens to me all the time, is what I'm saying to you. And again, I've had the ability my whole life, but I've been really focused on like, and getting paid for it. So I've been much more in it for over 18 years and I still have that. So it does, because there's nothing solid to it. And because the world forever just says, oh, that's not real. Okay. Donna said, will my daughter's new consultation practice be successful? Can I just get her first name? Because I do have an initial feeling on that, and it will, but it's going to be, okay. I'm going to start back up and start this differently. I have a very strong awareness in my throat chakra when I read her name, and a little bit more awareness in my solar plexus. I'll explain what that all means in a second. I'm just turning the heater on because my feet are cold. Or feeties. Okay. And then in my solar plexus. So your throat chakra is about how you communicate, how you express yourself to the world, and receive communication too. And your solar plexus is how you relate to the world, how the world relates to you, and your self-esteem. So, hang on, sorry. You'll notice I like to put this on a lot. I don't feel like she has a hard time advocating for others, but I really do feel like she has a hard time being heard, seen, and validated. And part of that is through her voice. And so I feel like she wants to be viewed as an authority, and she feels like there's a lot of imposter syndrome there, and it shows up through her voice. And that sort of then bleeds into a little bit of her solar plexus. And so it's not like she has a poor self-esteem, but it is like that worried about how she shows up. She is more than qualified to do what she does. She has enough accolades to do what she does. I've talked about, I'm in my 40s. I've talked about with female friends, women, and it's the same thing for them. It's like something happens, and I think it's a societal programming and probably also a hormonal shift that happens where your estrogen drops, which is like that protective hormone that keeps you like just like so sweet and humble and like patient, starts to drop, and you're just like, fuck this. Like, of course I'm qualified. So that sort of like doesn't happen until then. She is more than qualified to do what she does, and it will be successful, but there's a few more bumps. It feels like in the first 2 to 3 months, it doesn't take off quite as fast as she wants, or it feels like it's not as smooth running as she wants it to, but she will do fine with it. Tell her to stick with it. And I love self-concept work. I love manifesting and the idea of law of assumption, and your beliefs create your reality, and that you get to decide how everything shows up. But it requires you to consciously do it. You're doing it all the time regardless, right? But to do it consciously in the way you want to do it, it requires you to be very persistent and consistent. Meaning you don't have to feel a certain way. You just have to program the thoughts and the beliefs. So that can look like affirming over and over and over. You don't have to feel it. You don't have to visualize it or anything, or just deciding like no and being insistent on it. Like, this is how it's going to be until it shows up that way, and literally ignore everything in front of you. I am being very insistent on my life lately. And it's funny to me because like I had a dream a long time ago about this, and I feel like this is the time period where I walked out, and it was like in the dream I walked out of the store, and I was like basically moving, like, I don't know if you know how the old Zelda games were, where you're like sort of like above it watching Zelda move around. But I had like I don't know, it would be like the star in Mario, where you just have like infinite ability. Like you can just do whatever, move whatever, and like nothing happens to you. Like everything works out in your favor. That's what law of assumption does for you when you use it to your benefit. I don't know if she'd be into any of that, but you could send her my way. I'd be happy to teach her about it. She's a Pisces, so there's insecurity, but she is highly qualified and very motivated. Yeah. But so she just has to remind her, you just have to remind her to stick with it, right? To like not give up on herself and be insistent that it doesn't matter what it looks like right now. It's all working out for her. Best case scenario, she's successful. But you could send her my way too, and I'd be happy to teach her about all of that stuff. So yeah. Okay. Rathka. Do my guides have any insights, guidance, info I should have for me around my writing and or work? Hi, Vanilla and Pie. How are you? So when I feel your energy around this, I feel more tight in my heart chakra. Wait, do you have something going on with your left ear? There's like a lot of pressure there, and almost like I have maybe it feels like a slight earache to me. I don't know that you'd actually have one. Sorry. I felt your anxiety, and I heard a guy say, treat it like it's your little bitch. Sorry. Uh, I like the technique of personifying those voices in your head, right? And I've said this a lot, like when I always hate like thinking my kids are watching this. Um, no physical symptoms. So then okay, so then my left ear is how I receive communication from guides and spirit. This one is how I receive, my right ear is how I receive information symbolically. It's not how it actually happens and it comes through, but like symbolically when they're showing me who I'm communicating with. The right side is for family and loved ones that have crossed over. So it's a little inflamed and the communication's not happening for you. So one, it's like with your heart chakra is sort of like needing to release some of that old stuff, old fears and sadness, um, and the worries about how you show up in the world and how you'll be received, and like that protectiveness. And I understand that there's some valid concerns for you, but not to be dismissive because it's not that meant that way. They should be less on the forefront than they are because that fear is hindering you. While it was really valid for a long time and kept you safe, it's no longer valid. It's now you're on board with it. Okay. So it's like it's no longer like it's now becoming a hindrance into your detriment. And so you have to find balance with it and learn to let it go. Um, you could try that bubble technique I shared. Sorry, I wanted my lips to have a little more color. You could try that bubble technique that I showed you, or that I talked about in the community, as one way of doing that. I think sometimes when we start to look at how we're consciously or subconsciously manifesting, um, it's where you realize you're still holding on to stuff where you're like, oh, I didn't even realize that was still a thing, right? Um, or I didn't realize that was still holding me back. Um, it clearly has been a question in my mind for sure. So what you said about it left ear, yeah. The other idea is when you're opening up your intuition and you're learning to connect, is learning not to force it, and like instead of being like, well, I really want to say I want it now, like a toddler, right? Sometimes we get to be like toddlers even as adults where we're like, I want to have it right now, and learning to go with the energy and realizing that sometimes when we're trying to force something, there's still a little bit of fear underneath there. And growing your intuition is just like anything else. If there is that fear, it will sort of hold it at bay. And so it's the idea of learning to relax and ease into the energy and just sort of say, like, however you want to come through is fine with me. Um, make sure it's easy, like, right. And then I'm open to receive it, but make sure that you give it to me in a way that it feels safe for me so that I can receive it. Um, um, sorry, I felt like I had a little fuzz on my lip. Um, sorry. Uh, the other thing about like the solar plexus part is just like the anxiety, and they're like, make it your bitch. So your anxiety, all those like emotions and feelings, they're there to protect you again, but oftentimes it's to your detriment, right? It's like not protective and helpful. So when that anxiety around it comes up, you need to stop and have a conversation with anxiety as if it's a toddler or teenager or whatever age range that seems to be coming up for you, and be like, I get that you were here to protect me, but it's not protecting me, and I can do this. Like, this is safe. I'm okay. I'm safe. And thank you so much, and send them on your way. Sometimes I feel like those, right, just like cravings when you're quitting something, um, you need an active way to address them. Otherwise, they don't shut up, right? Like it just feels like you're fighting with it. And so it's like you sort of actively have to personify it and make it your bitch, so to speak. And we all know what a tough guy I am. um, oh, the other thing is like, I started to say to them, like, well, so like sit with it more with the what's coming through intuitively. Like, no, do what you do. So how with like seeing that guy where I was like, I've got shit to do. Like I have responsibilities. Like I'm not going to walk back in this building and go look to see if he's there. So you feel better that you told me this guy is there. um, so I just went about my day and was like, just let me know. Let me know if this is really important and you need me to know, let me know. So like if you're putting out information like what should I be doing? How should I be doing it? I just relax into it a little bit. And then when it comes, I go with it. Right? You just go like, I'm just gonna trust it. Just gonna trust it. Because there's no other way to get better at trusting it than just being brave and trusting it. Like there's no way around that. You just have to like jump in and trust that you're going to be able to swim, and you will. I mean, you've always landed on your feet, so like look at how you've ended up being okay, so then you feel a little safer to jump in and just go with it. Like, is SS Social Security vanilla and pie? It just helps if I understand what question I'm asking. I know that sounds weird, but I feel more confident in what I'm asking if I know what I'm asking. Because it's also about intention. You're very welcome. Hey, it's 1N. um, I bet your phone corrected you. Okay. So I feel like that it will come in, but there's something about April 15th. So I don't know if you get it mid-month rather than the first of the month. I don't know why. I have no idea how all of that works out. Not like I used my hair dryer just a little bit because I got out of the shower late, and I hate when I use my hair dryer. I just prefer to let everything air dry. Stop it. Sorry. So do you get it mid-month normally? Vanilla and pie? Or is there a reason like April 15th would be, or you're gonna get it. You're gonna keep getting it. As I show, I'm getting May, June, and July for sure. So when you're working with manifesting, when people say like, I'm trying, stop it. Then you're always going to be trying. It's never going to be working. This is something new that came to you randomly. Well, no. When you decide things are going to happen, the universe goes, okay, we'll make it happen. We'll show you how. It's not random, seemingly random. I'm trying to fight that thing where I'm just, when I think about the things that I'm consciously creating, to not be too restrictive about how it comes in, if that makes sense. Like about conversations that I want to have or whatever. And just trusting, like being more open-ended and being like, it happens, it works out, everything my favorite, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So there's something about April 15th. So I don't know if you normally get it on the 1st, or if you did for, what did you say? Whatever. if you think, oh, I should get it on the 1st, it feels like it might come on the 15th versus the 1st. Or there might be like it feels like a slight delay, but you'll still get it. I was like, it's things I want and need. It came to me in the mail about applying. Oh, awesome. Perfect. Nothing is random. So I want to say this too, is like, I had a client on yesterday morning. Oh no, this wasn't that client. It was last week on Thursday or Friday. I don't know, whatever. She's a new client, and my readings are really kind of shifting around relationships. I think because, again, my tagline has been empowering your journey. And I don't think it's helpful just to be like, yeah, they're a jerk, or this is what's like, or like giving you timelines of how things are going to go. Because I feel like if you want it to be a certain way, you absolutely can have it be that way. So my readings are happening in like different ways, where it's like, you're going to get the information, but you're going to also get a lesson about how to manifest, because why sit around and feel like a ping pong ball being bounced around a game of life when you could be more intentional and shoot your ball exactly where you want it to go. So I was like, I know this is not the reading you wanted. I ended up going well over on her reading. She paid for a half hour. I think I gave her almost an hour reading, because I was like, just try this. Just try it, honey. You'll like it. Like, I just was like, you have nothing to lose. You're not doing anything in the 3D. It's all in your thought process. She's like, I don't want to get my hopes up that this relationship is going to come back in. And I was like, so don't start big, start small, have him contact you, like start small to see that you are more powerful than you realize. And then the other thing with manifesting is like not worrying about what's happening in the 3D, and trust that stuff is happening behind the scenes that you aren't going to be fully aware of, especially when it involves like other people, other things. You're going to have money coming in other ways too. And you'll still qualify for, and there's nothing wrong with starting small. This idea that you have to go all the way to the end is silly. Like, why? I mean, you can decide that, but like also your nervous system and fighting that is like, well, technically you don't have to calm your nerve. Technically you can just decide and that's it. But the thing that creates the doubt and the fighting is your nervous system. And so if you want to work with it, go small, integrate it small. You'll start it. It's funny. I heard, what was the word? Oh, rebates in some way. So maybe it is through your business getting tax rebates or tax write-offs or something like that. You just subscribed. Hi. I'm not going to, so I am doing free general questions, but I'm not going to do free mediumship today. Only because that's a lot more work. Really and truly, it's a lot more work to do mediumship. You sent in for a question. Oh, Gabby, no, I'll do it for free for you, honey. Sweetheart. Because there wasn't a lot of people here and I was struggling for my life. So I'll do yours for free. And then who else? Oh, okay. That was from Dana. Okay. So I'll send you your money back. Are you sure? What do you want to know about love? Anything in love? Okay. Thank you, Gabby. Yeah, mediumship is more, it's more time consuming rather than difficult. I should put it that way. It's just more time consuming because I have to like connect in with, it's like being a translator, and then I got to make sure that I got the right line and all of that stuff. Who's your partner? Can I have a first name, please? Because if you didn't know this, sometimes when you connect to people and they're like, oh, my spouse or my wife or my husband, I'm like, you're not married, really? I went and did when I was still doing readings in person. This was years ago. I went to this woman's house and she's like, said to ask something about her marriage. And I was like, you're married? She did not like feel like, so a lot of people are married in relationship on paper, but there's no relationship there at all. And I see that a lot with people. Um, I mean, I had that. And it's not a bad thing, but I just think, I don't know. John, okay. Mm-hmm. I'm not connecting him with the love part of it yet, so ignore the facial expressions. um, do you know if I'm just connecting with John's energy? Do you know if John grinds his teeth and has issues on the left side? Because it feels really tight. And I feel like even maybe some dental issues because of this grinding. I'll be more prone to like I don't know if this is an old filling that needs like some work or there's some leaking or something around it. Mostly on the top. There's a little wear and tear on the bottom. But I also felt a lot of pressure over like my left eye. So I don't know if he suffers from headaches. And I felt pressure in my chest. So I'm not sure. I lean towards maybe being a blood pressure issue. They write cholesterol. So tight on my left side here and my trap. He could really benefit from some breath work. I lean towards him being a little bit of a workaholic and learning to relax a little bit. Like he really needs to learn to just like allow. He could lean into a little bit more of your type B personality because I feel like he's a little more type A. Chest hurt when you've been congested and coughing. What about him? Does the maybe like grinding at night or TMJ make sense? And there's a personality of being like a little bit more type A and a bit of a workaholic. I don't even know if it's necessarily workaholic, but just like wanting things to be perfect in his work. And so it tends to be where like it's not perfect. I've got to go back and fix it or tweak it. So it doesn't, I don't know that it necessarily fits workaholic. Like some people are just like, all they want to do is work. I have one client. She's fabulous, absolutely fabulous, but like she likes to work a lot. um, there's the idea of learning to relax though. So having fun can be a distraction over learning to just relax and breathe and be by yourself. Uh, so I'm asking about the love thing now. Sorry, sometimes it takes me a minute to get to where you want me to be. I don't know why. It's the process of it, I suppose. And then sometimes I can be very direct with it. So John feels like John likes the life and the relationship. And and doesn't see that like he's just moving through day to day. So then the idea of needing excitement is yours. Um, he has to be on the go to survive. Okay. So then that makes sense of like not knowing how to relax, like needing to move. Okay. Um, you offer consistency. And so that offers comfort. So I don't think he really sees a need for more excitement. But if you want excitement, would you be willing to indulge yourself in a little manifesting? And not because I think that it can't happen, it's because your mindset is such that it's like got to come from outside of you, and it doesn't. It comes from within you. Um, it's not magic and woo woo. I don't know. So your thought pattern needs to be focused on what is it. First of all, just think about what you want, because I think a lot of people go, well, I want this, but then they can't name it really, right? So I want more excitement and love. Well, what does that look like to you? And a lot of people are like, oh, I don't know, I never really thought about it in detail. Well, like, look at that. What does that look like to you? What do you want from that? So be specific about it. I want more time with them. I want more. You're waiting for your, stop waiting. So then you're going to look at it like, so we live together. I don't care what it looks like on the outside. In your head, just imagine, spend time imagining living together. What would that day, what would a normal day look like living together? Right? It's okay, Valerie. I was doing a few for free today, but if you want to pay me, I will take the payment. Did you write a question or? And then Gabrielle is ahead of you. Oh, I think you asked about this a while ago, and I said you would get the house, right? Um, you're in the visa process, so you're gonna just keep doing what I'm telling you to do. I don't care what circumstances look like. This is what I'm telling you. This works for nursing school. I realize now where I always thought like, so I know now I manifested this, but it came in such a very interesting way. I think because of my ability. So I have always liked science. Like I have always been the weirdo. I was a weird kid who liked to watch back surgeries and eye surgeries. Like when the Surgery Channel was like a thing. I don't know if it still is. Um, I would sit there and watch surgeries because I think the human body is so insanely fascinating. And my mom would be like, "This is gross. What's wrong with you?" And I was like, "But like, look how cool the body is. Like, look at what it, like, look what you can do with it. Like, look what it's capable of." And I think it's like now that I understand other stuff even more, I'm so fascinated by it. Anyway, like if you ever see like bodybuilding guys, not when they're like really huge, but when they sort of dehydrate out, so you see all like the striations in the muscles. Like I don't think like the muscly, like I like a little bit of a softer muscle, if you will. But when they're like super ripped like that, I'm fascinated that you can see the actual structures of the muscle. Like that to me is like, it's not like a that's hot. It's like that's so that's really cool for that reason. Um, so anyway, so when I originally went to college, I was in nursing school, and I'm telling you this because I want you to understand the circumstances don't matter. I'm getting to a point. I swear to God, I am. Um, I was in nursing school. I dropped out of nursing school and went into healthcare administration. It's a much easier major. And I was living with a roommate at the time who was in nursing school, and she would have people over to do like studying and do like her mini fake exams or whatever on your peers. And I just remember always sort of like having a little ear out and being fascinated by it. Again, fascinated by the human body and how it works. And also a big helper, that damn astrological chart. So I think that there was that little tug where I was like pulling it in and not understanding that that's what I was doing. And then when I was in an MIS class in the summer, oh, I was like a semester away from going to do my year-long internship. I heard a voice outside my right ear say, "You're going to go to nursing school at the tech and get." And so I was like, "Oh," so I paid my way through school. So I was like, well, I'm not going to switch back to nursing and then I'm stuck for another 4 years. I can't. I mean, I was working full time essentially, and like I just couldn't do it anymore. Um, and so I was like, okay, so this is in like July. Classes started in August, and I went over and they're like, well, if you get in. And I was like, okay, so like, when do I start? Like, there was nothing in me, because I heard this, there was nothing in me that was like any doubt at all. I was like, okay, so like, well, if you pass this test, and it was like seriously basic math and English test. And I was like, yeah. So when I start, like, I'm pretty good at test taking. That was not ever an issue for me. I was like, sure, no problem. When do I start? When does this happen? And so then by the time I was graduating with my peers, one of them finally asked her, like, how did you get in here? Because there was a wait list. By all intents and purposes, I should not have been in that group. Circumstances do not matter. So I don't want to hear I'm waiting on a visa, like, like, just, you're going to say, I look so radiant. Thank you. I guess divorce does that for you. Just kidding. So that's manifesting. So I would say, if I were you, this is how I would look at it and persist on it. And then when the doubt comes up, you're going to look at the doubt. Because I don't know if you were here for this. I was telling Lena earlier, or anyway, I was telling somebody earlier that what you have to do is take that little doubt part and make it personify it. So you're going to decide that doubt part of you is the part of you that's the old you that's trying to die, or trying not to die. It's just sucking for air and just wanting to still live and exist. Thank you. It is. So one of my friends is like, you're so much more fun now. And I'm like, huh. I will not say any negative comments though, because I think it's good for everybody. Anyway. So, you're going to look at that part of you that's trying to like still survive and be like, no, that's the old me. And that's okay. I understand why you're doubting it, but this is what I'm stepping into now. So you're going to not say like, well, if only, don't put any constraints. We lived together. The visa came through. Everything happened really easy. And I'm so grateful for that. That's that. That's like, that is all you have to do, is validate over and over and over again. Doesn't matter what circumstances look like. I don't care what's happening in your, as they say, your 3D, this physical space that you're in. Just decide it and go with it and keep validating it. So I didn't see that movement in and yet, because you're still on the idea of like, I'm waiting for that to happen. It's happened. It's done. You live together. And you'll start seeing signs of it. There are some manifesting people who will like be hardcore, like, you don't need signs. You're the sign. Like, yeah, I get that, but we're still human and we like it. I don't necessarily always look for signs anymore, but I think I'm in a little bit more of a different place, but I still like them sometimes. So a sign would be that other people are talking about moving in together, and you start noticing that, or you'll start noticing, I don't know, even like people online saying like, oh, we're moving in together. But I'm telling you, this stuff works. I'm telling you, I've had it work in places where it shouldn't have been possible. I should not have been in that nursing class, and yet somehow I was. And again, we manifest without even realizing. I didn't even realize I was doing it. I didn't even realize until recently. I was like, oh, I fucking manifested that and didn't even realize it. my guides just, I tend to hear my guides and my intuition. So your manifesting is your communication out, right? It's your expressive communication to the universe. Your intuition is your receptive communication. I've always had a very strong receptive communication. And I don't know, it's just always been there. Apparently, according to the Epstein files, it's probably because of trauma. So a bonus to that, or benefit from trauma. And then your self-concept work is like, how healthy is that communication, right? So think of it that way, I guess, like when you're receiving like the guidance of where to go or what to do. And maybe it's not that strong, but then just know that if I just keep saying this, that's what keeps coming, or that's what's coming, or that's what's here already. Because time all happens at once, but our conscious perception is a linear thing. And I was telling the client that I had earlier this week, I was like, you're not manipulating anybody. You're not, she had a story around this person that she loves that like, oh, this situation is too much and he's scared of it. And I was like, well, then he's always going to be scared of it. And anyone else you have coming in is going to be scared of it. So like, why are you deciding for him like that? Why not just decide he can handle it? All right, if you're getting free readings, you better give me a little thumbs up. You can create your own reality. I am firm on that. Not even you can. You are creating your own reality. Decide what you want it to look like. And also so in the manifesting world, there's a lot of people who will talk about like relationships, like, well, if you're already with somebody, you should just rewrite them and it's like, stay with them. Because why? And I'm like, well, I also think that there's some experiences need to move on and some don't. And that's okay. I don't know. I think that you get to make your own rules and do whatever you want. Happy birthday, Regine. Woohoo. What are you doing to celebrate? I thought, oh, you had a celebration this weekend. What did you do? Did you do anything fun? I hope so. You said your friends had plans for you, right? I took my daughter to a concert on Friday night. My oldest daughter, we went. She did really well. I was very proud of her. Her poor little feet were hurting by the end. And it was this guy, Conan Gray, who I was like, oh my God, like when I was like watching, I don't know any of the music, but he sang and he was very talented. And he was definitely a theater kid because there was all these costume changes and even like the band was in costumes. And then there was like this really cool backdrop that it just felt like theater. It was really great. Family dinner. Yay. Hi, Katrina. Very busy. Birthday party yesterday afternoon. Hi, Lotus Siren. Okay, wait. So then I want to ask, I've got, I'll come back to that. Gabby, what are your questions? And then I'll do Valerie's while I'm waiting for you to type. Yeah. The school is closing down in the other area now, sadly. So it's a different area, not too far from the last one, and it's a different school. Okay. Oh, you asked about the house. Okay. Any guidance comes through. My stepdad got his hip replaced 2 weeks ago, and he's having a hard time healing. We start feeling better soon. His pain seems to be getting worse. There's something they're showing me about like something not right in his blood is like the way I'm like, well, what is it? So it looks like it's oozing a little bit. So I don't know if he had oozing after the surgery or something. And I don't know if it's like an iron issue or, but it's like, they're like, it's something not right with his blood that's creating the inability to heal at the right rate. He has a hard time just relaxing too. He doesn't want to sit all day. Who wants to? I mean, I know with hip surgery, when they do replacements, they're up within a few hours of after the surgery. Like they get him up and get him moving fast. I also feel like he's not really doing the PT that he should be doing on his own. They come 3 times a week. I feel like he should be doing more on his own, and he's not. Is he a smoker or was he a smoker? I just feel like there's something also connected to that. Like, because I'm asking, like, why is he not healing as quickly? And it feels like there's a lifestyle connection to it. I mean, I also feel like he's just grumpy. Uh, he's not a great patient. Um, goes for a fall. You agree? He doesn't do enough PT. He said the pain is just so bad that he has, but it's years and years ago. He's very healthy though. He's very stubborn. Okay. Um, I mean, I'm always going to lean into the manifesting thing because I feel like he will heal. It is just a slower process. When they give you statistics, that's on the average. It's not on, right. There's always outliers. It's not like he got a bad hip, or I don't even feel like there's an infection there. I just feel like there may be a like I just feel like if he did the PT the way he was supposed to do it, he wouldn't be so tight. And he's been pushing this surgery for a few years now. Oh, it needed to be done a long time ago. Yeah. I just feel like the fascia, everything is just tight, and that's sort of what's creating more pain for him. I also think he's kind of a big baby. I don't mean to be like dismissive. I just feel like he doesn't handle pain well. You know how in the NICU they call them wimpy white boys? I feel like he'd be the wimpy white boy of the hip surgery. So like, there's just those some people. Oh, I'll tell you this story because I don't mind. I don't mind outing this man. He's such a piece of shit. My father. Let's go on that. I remember I was visiting. I was already a nurse. I'm pretty sure, and I was visiting, and I was staying at his house for like a couple days. I must have already been a nurse. I can't remember when it was. And I was upstairs in the guest bedroom, and I hear this. Ah, ah. And I was like, what the fuck? And I went downstairs and knocked on his bedroom door, and I was like, Dad, are you good? He's like, oh, I have a fever. Oh. I was like, well, take some fucking medicine and go to bed. He's like, it's so cold. I was like, put a blanket on. Like, I was not very sympathetic. I was just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You're a grown ass man. Uh, I think that's what your stepdad is like. And I think like the reason why I'm like unsympathetic, I'm just have no empathy for that. Like I'll help. Like my friend was sick last week. I was like, if you need me to drop anything off, no problem. Like I've got this tea. Like was the blizzard, but I was like, I've got some lung and throat tea I can run over if you want. Um, I don't mind helping out people, but I also am like, at some point, are you fucking kidding me? Because I had also dealt with really, really sick people. So I'm like, it's a fucking fever. Take some medicine. Like, are you kidding? I feel like that's what your stepdad is like. God love you. So, I mean, some of it is like his own doing. You can manifest it differently where you just visualize him, right? And you're like, whatever, he gets better, it's fine. Like, ignore what he's doing. Like, even in his head, he's like, oh, I'm in so much pain. You're like, whatever, you're fine. Like, in your head, whatever, you're fine. You're not hurting at all. You're totally fine. Don't say anything. When you're manifesting, it's all in your noggin. Nothing comes outside. Not a peep, not a thought, nothing. Just all in here. Oh, the thing in the NICU, yeah. So like little white boys tend to like they just call them wimpy white boys. Like you're just like, oh, he's got wimpy white boy syndrome. Look it up. There's like all kinds of stories about it. And those little babies that are like born SGA, which is like small for gestational age, that are like just teeny tiny, they are fucking feisty. You agree with it? Your spouse thinks you're nuts. I You're manifesting all the time, whether you like it or not. Literally, whether you like it or not. And the thing that like got me yesterday when I was getting ready for the party, like getting all the like I had all the list in my head of all the things I had to do, and then people kept texting or like adding on for the list. Can you take my kid? Can you, which is my friend Kara. I didn't mind at all. I was like, yes, totally, no problem. But then I was like, my daughters were like, I forgot this. Can you bring it here? I forgot that. Or like another friend, can you bring this when you bring that? And I'm like, oh my god, my list is growing. It's the mammies and wives mammying them too much. Yeah. um, I know. I mean, I just think also, I don't know. I don't know. I don't have any boys. I only have girls. So, I don't know. But what I'm saying is about manifesting, it's like I just decided in that moment where I was like, oh, I need to like stop saying that I don't have enough time, or am I going to be enough? Is it going to happen? Like, just decide that it's all done. It's good. I got this. Like, because you're always manifesting, and I manifested a lot of like not so great stuff in the past. And so, what happens when you start getting in the mindset of like that my beliefs create my reality, your brain stops you mid negative crap and says like, what the fuck are you doing? You can do this a different way. Yes, treat it like it's a state secret. I treat it like HIPAA violation. If this comes out of here, it's a HIPAA violation. I was very serious about that. My sister and I lived together in Austin, and I worked in the ER at the time. And one of our neighbors, who she was friends with, showed up in the ER. And like, I guess the neighbor told my sister about it because I was her nurse, and the neighbor told my sister about it. And my sister was like, "Why didn't you tell me?" I was like, "Because it's a fucking HIPAA violation. It's not like legally I can't tell you." Are you like, she was all offended. I'm like, it's none of your fucking business. Embrace the wisdom. Um, okay, hold on. Now you can pay me. All right, we're gonna start doing some paid readings because there's more of you here. Um, Hang on, let me find the link because if I don't, then I'll type it wrong or something. I did not wear contacts today for this so that I can see close up. So no more squinting today. There it is. Boop. Yes, it is in the description, but I'll do that here and then just in case somebody's. Okay. A guidance that is coming through for my other question. The anxiety is finally lifting. Yay! Um, Pam, what was your other question? Let me find it. Comes through. Oh, just in general. Okay. Um, oh, you weren't here for this because I felt a little tight here. I can feel that little bit of anxiety here in your stomach. Um, you weren't here for this earlier, but I think it's funny, and so I'm going to share it with you. I told, let's just say Rothka because I can't. Resonant depths. Um, so treat your anxiety like it's your bitch. That was what her guides gave her for. So anxiety and all of those feelings that are like, and the doubt, those are all, personify them. They're all there to protect you at some point, and then at a point they just become a detriment to your process of growth and moving forward, right? So you sort of just have to say like, yeah, I get it, you're here to help, but like, you can kindly fuck off now. um I mean, obviously if you need to be more empathetic towards it, fine. um oh, so I felt, it's funny, I felt like sunshine lifting, or like kind of lifting the weight off of you. And I feel like feeling more like yourself again. And I even feel like okay to go and do the deposition. Like you're okay to fly. You're okay to take her. I feel like you take her with you. Are you supposed to take her with you? Um, and I feel like I'm actually okay mentally. I'm in a space to be able to do that. I'm going to challenge you to something because I think this is what they're saying. Um, Stop worrying about so many people and stop deciding that it's your job to somehow fix them or make them better. It's not. You have to because you're breastfeeding. You're able to do it over Zoom. Okay, perfect. I'm glad that they decided that. I told you they would. Okay, so then maybe that's why they're saying that. So, what did I just tell you that you're like, that's my biggest issue? I don't remember. Sorry, it slipped out of my brain. Oh, sorry, worrying about everybody. So stop saying that's your issue. Stop taking that on as that's your character trait, right? You're gonna, sorry about that if that made a noise there for you. Um, you just need to decide that that's like, you have a healthy balance between helping, and because also worrying doesn't help anybody. It's not helping that person, and it's certainly not helping you. And it's not your job to fix everybody. And the truth is sometimes when you have this idea that you're supposed to fix everybody, and like it's your job, and like if you don't want anybody else to suffer, you're also taking away opportunities for them to have growth. And that was something when I looked at it that way for myself as a helper to my own detriment, and as the person who felt like it was my job to make sure everybody else was happy. First of all, I was miserable. And second of all, I was taking away opportunities for their growth and their learning and their development. And like, I didn't want to do that either. I didn't want to, right? So, like, you learn through discomfort, you learn through that struggle. That's where we get our biggest lessons, that's where we make our biggest growth. And when you're not offered that opportunity, then you're stuck. And you're kind of an uninteresting person if you've never had any struggle. Sorry. I mean, that's what adds character, right? It's like all the shit you go through. There's that saying that I guess is kind of common amongst therapists, and somebody who's a therapist, if you're here, you could say this, but like, so did you have a happy childhood or are you funny? like, like look at so many comedians. We're just like, they're there. Their humor is there because of their trauma. You're very welcome. I hear like some manifesting people say like, don't go to psychics or whatever. They're just reflecting. It's like, yeah, I really am just reflecting your energy back to you. I don't know that I'm doing anything magical. I mean, even when I'm doing medical intuition, I'm just reading your energy and telling you what it looks like. Valerie, do you want to ask your question? And then I'll go back and answer some of these other ones that were wanting a free. I asked earlier and I said I would do them for free. Oh, Valerie. Oh, Valerie wanted to ask about the house. Sorry. I got you. So I saw the number 3 when I first read that. So I don't know if you'll actually hear something about it on March 3rd. You have it. So what I want you to step into, this is that manifesting process of like the idea of like you have things, right? You're just gonna decide, I have it, it's fine, I'm not worried about it. Like when you put an order, it did show, I read it. Sorry, I just forgot about it until I saw the house thing. When you put an order in a restaurant, you don't go, they took the order and they brought it. I saw them bring it to the kitchen, but do they really have it? And like maybe it's taking a little bit longer than you expected, but you never know what's backed up in the kitchen and all that stuff. I think they're backed up on paperwork, and that's all it. That's why I said it that way. Oh, cool. Okay. So that's why it's like there's just a little bit of a delay, but it's not, it's there. You have it. You have a house and you'll be fine. And the kids will be fine. I also think it's sort of this idea of, right. I feel like you'll get the word about it on the 3rd and I don't know about dates, but it's for sure in March. I think you'll like it. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. Like there is some stuff I feel like there might be a few little fixes here and there, but it's feel like you'll be pleasantly surprised. I don't know if it's like they're showing me like the plant foliage outside. So I don't know if you have like a nice little garden with it, or if it's just like they'll walk to school and they'll walk around the neighborhood. There's nice foliage. But I would just decide, like, so you're not worrying, and because you didn't, I mean, I'm not telling you anything magic, right? I'm just like, oh, I see it. But it's like, I also want to encourage you to be like, yeah, I've got it. We're moving this month. It's fine. And even if there's like sort of like this idea of like a fear that you're somehow like not going to have a house at a point, you'll be fine. You won't be kicked out. Um, Sorry. Excuse me. I notice on camera when I look back and watch back, and I'm like this when I read my phone. Sorry. I'm not sorry. Um, the 3rd is Tuesday. I felt something Tuesday as well. Okay, cool. It's a countryside area. Yeah, it just feels like it'll be really pretty and nice, and you'll enjoy it. Ooh. The curls have a mind of their own. All right. Valerie, I saw you were, I appreciate the wisdom, and I'm like, oh, I stumble a lot apparently, so I can help others. EQ 2126, are you here? I'd like to know Allie's feelings towards her new boyfriend. Okay. You're not going to like what I have to say. Are you still here, EQ? I decided I just need to start doing readings without my contacts, and then they're easier. Yay. I was talking with another mom yesterday at the party. I feel like there's a garden and an outdoor space. Maybe that's why they were showing me. I don't feel like it's huge, but I feel like it's enough. They're showing me bunnies, so I don't know if there's bunnies outdoor or if your neighbor has a bunny that plays outdoors. So I was talking to this other mom, and she's like, "Oh, I wear glasses all the time, like her regular glasses all the time, so I can just like take them off and see for reading because like the reading glasses are." And I was like, "That works for me, but then I have to find glasses that I like that look okay with my nose." And she's like, "What's wrong with your nose?" And I was like, "I always feel like, look, I'll show you. Let me see if I find them. I always feel like Groucho Marx. Like let me see. Here's one pair. So I always feel like I'm wearing like Groucho Marx glasses. Like these are so dirty right now, but I just always see like my nose. I always feel like it looks like a fake nose. And she's like, "What?" I was like, "I know. There's things that we notice about ourselves that like see that like nobody else notices." And I was like, it's like one of those weird things. Whatever. My nose is fine. I tell myself that. You see bunnies all the time in the countryside. So, okay. So then maybe it's like you'll have a lot of little bunnies outdoor. It's funny because we have so much wildlife here, but I didn't grow up that way. Like in Houston, it was like there was no, like I might see, occasionally I saw a jackrabbit. And one time on the tennis court, I thought this was cool. I was playing tennis. This is like when I had my own apartment and I was an adult. And there was an armadillo on the tennis court. There's really little. But normally, like, I mean, I was in Houston, so you just sent through PayPal. Okay. So EQ. Yes, I said that it feels like there's a lot of like, I don't know what the difference. I don't know in Ireland. I don't know the difference between like countryside versus, but it just feels like there's a lot of greenery and a lot of, like I'm being shown like the foliage and the flowers and things like that. So there's something to it about outside. So I'm going to guess that is the answer to your question. That's why they showed that to me, to show that there's a lot of nice outdoor space. I just don't feel like your yard is, the feeling is it's not, I feel like yards in the United States are very different than yards in other places, but it feels like it's enough and standard to what it would be. Yeah. You're welcome. It was really cute. Although I don't have that white lady syndrome where like, I need to pet it. I was like, I don't know what diseases it carries, so I will stay over here and watch it. But it feels standard. It doesn't feel like, that's the best way for me to describe it. Okay, EQ. Let's talk about the ex and her current boyfriend. This is not something you're going to like to hear, but I want you to remember that I read the energy of what's being projected right now and the direction it's going right now. That does not mean that you can't manifest differently or change this light, right? And circumstances don't matter, right? So you can change the outcome, I believe. But I also think that does take self-concept work, especially because I mean, that's the basis of everything, really, is like your self-concept. There's people out there who will coach on manifesting and say like, "Oh, you don't have to have a good self." You don't. You can have love come in without a great self-concept. I got married without a great self-concept. I'm telling you, you can have love come in. But the level of what your self-concept is, the healthier it is, the healthier all of your relationships and interactions are. Like 1,000%, I will die on that hill. but I'm not dying for a really long time because I'm planning on living to be at least 104, because why the fuck not? You may think that that's terrible, but I think I'm doing it healthy. So, yeah. I don't feel like, so where your energy is at right now, I feel like she is going to end up being engaged to this man. I feel like she's happy and likes this man. I actually think she's into the woo woo stuff. Um, when I look at your energy around it, I feel like there's a part of you that feels like that was your only opportunity at love. And that you pushed it away. That's the feeling I get. Can you validate any of that? The other side of that is yes. Okay. The other side of that is, so when you feel like that's my only opportunity to love, that is a huge, glaring neon sign that says, I don't have a great self concept. I'm not lovable. I'm not valuable. And I'm not worthy. And so, what you have to do is the work to decide that I am lovable, I am valuable, and I am worthy. I love myself. I am loved. And I am deserving of love. And you don't have to do anything to earn it. Like, that's the most beautiful thing, is you just get to have it. You don't have to, be the star athlete. You don't have to be the star student. You don't have to be the nicest volunteer ever and give your way. I heard something that was like, I read something stupid, but it was sort of like, these people quietly donate 20% of their money. And so they know that if you do it quietly, then the universe gives it back to you. Well, that's a belief system. And you don't have to do that. Because your beliefs create your reality. It doesn't matter what it is. You get to decide. It's all from your own perspective. And so right there, just you being a soul, being a breathing, living human, you are deserving and worthy of love just as you are. It doesn't matter if you were complete shit yesterday. It doesn't matter if you didn't have great grades. I do feel like she's in love with him, yes. Or on her way. Mm-hmm. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to circle back to where I'm talking about you and your self-concept, because your beliefs create your reality. So if you believe you're not worthy and deserving of love, guess what? She has to reflect that back to you, that somebody else is worthy and deserving of her love and not you. Do you want to? My question is, I would challenge you to look at why you love her, what you love about her. Right. So this is what I'm challenging you to do. Gotta listen to me. Start focusing on you and give yourself that love that you're deserving of. So that means being really fucking nice to yourself, complimenting yourself, telling yourself how much you love yourself, telling yourself like that you're good enough, and do not focus on her at all. If you want her back, have fun and play the game. So that means take a picture of her. I learned this one from another content creator. And look at that picture and talk to her, but not in like, will you love me? I'm so important. Like, no, I'm fucking amazing. You can't get your mind off of me. You think about me all the time. I am so fucking magnetic. We talk all the time. We still message. Even if she's in that relationship, don't go all the way to the end. Don't do that. Just do little baby steps, which is what I've been saying for a long time. And this other person happens to say that, but I've been saying that for a long time. Just do baby steps if you have to. Who cares? But start working on you and her at the same time. But really, what you're missing is that feeling of being loved, and because what's reflecting back to you is what you have a belief system around you. And your belief system around you is, I'm not worthy and deserving of love. So everything around you has to show up that way, because that's the program you entered into the system. But They do updates on computers all the time. You can update your belief system, right? But this does not mean trying to manipulate in the 3D and be like, hey, I've been thinking about you. Like, no, it's all in your fucking head. All of it. Do it all in your head. And you could say, like, oh, she actually loves me. Oh, she can't stand him. She can't stand him. Turns out he's really annoying. You don't need validation for that in the 3D. Just go with the story. But like I told this client the other day where she's like, well, I just don't want to give myself hope if there is no hope. I said, so start small. Like, he's thinking about me a lot and he texted me. So you would say, she's thinking about me and she texted me. She can't stand her boyfriend. He's annoying. And maybe that'll come through in the text. Even if it's like, oh my God, he's so annoying. Guess what he did? Like, whatever. She feels about you exactly the way you decided she feels about you. You don't think she likes you. She just doesn't think you're interesting, that kind of stuff. Like, really and truly, that's how the world shows up. I'm telling you this not because like, oh, I'm telling you this because I do this work for myself. I will never ever give anybody any advice that I can't say that doesn't work for me or that I haven't tried. I won't recommend anybody that I don't think that I've never worked with. I am very black and white in that sort of thinking. I have very rigid thinking in that because I don't want to ever lead anybody astray or lie to them. And there's no other way for me to prove that other than just I'm saying it. And I get that there's a lot of people in this world that just sell shit to make money, but like, I cannot in good conscience do that. So I'm telling you this works. You just decide like, oh, you could try it with somebody that doesn't mean as much to you. If you want to try the like manifesting whatever, like look at a picture of somebody that you have no resistance with at all and be like, post something about whatever. Like I did something one time with a celebrity where I was like, he's going to post a picture of a mermaid elephant. And I shit you not, I have no contact with him. I'm not messaging him. I'm not doing anything. I just made this decision that he did this. He posted this picture of a like, that's what I want. And this dude 3 days later posted in his stories a picture of a mermaid elephant. Does he feel like he's being manipulated? Nope. Everything that you have somebody do when you're kind of manifesting something, it will feel like natural experience. I've had people manifest me doing things. It feels like a natural experience. I don't feel like I'm being forced or manipulated. So I want to be very clear on that. So any feeling like I'm manipulating their free will, no, you're not, because this is how the world works. Whether you decide to do it this way or not, it still fucking works this way. Because you didn't think that you were manipulating her when you were deciding that you weren't worthy and deserving of this relationship, because the beginning was really great and then it just fell apart. Little by little by little, you started deciding that she didn't think you were interesting enough. She didn't think you were attractive enough, like all of that stuff. You did all of that thinking and all of those thoughts in your head. That's fine. I'm not, I think that's where I'm getting a little stuck where I'm like, I can do these readings and I can read the energy, but I feel like then there's always this part of me that's like, yeah, and you can change that if you really want it. Sometimes what happens when you start doing the self-concept work is, this is why I really lean into it. You're like, oh, I don't really want that person anymore. Hi, Makiken. I'm not really interested in them anymore. And that's okay to not want that same person. That's okay to decide that you changed your mind on the meal you want to eat for the day. No one yells at you if you're just like, I just don't like, I used to eat that and I'm not really into it anymore. Like if you know neurodivergent people, A lot of times, like people who are autistic or have ADHD will have like a hyperfixation food. They'll just like eat it, or comfort food, and they'll eat it and eat it like every day. I eat like the same breakfast every day. It's like really, actually, I just don't have to think as much when I do that. But I'm just like, this is what I'm eating. It's like one less thing for me to think about or decision to have to make. And I don't think I did that. I don't think I used to do that. I do it now. Maybe I did. I don't know. But it's like one less decision for me to have to make. And then you decide one day, you're like, yeah, I'm not really into this anymore. Doesn't mean it's a terrible thing. I'm just not really into it anymore. Yeah. You do the same thing now too. Yeah. And it's more, again, it's just like, I know it has like all the fiber I need, blah, blah, blah. And I don't have to think about it. I don't know. It's also why I really like nursing is I didn't have to think about clothes. It was just like, oh, scrubs. Is it clean? Have I worn it? Like, when did I wear it last? I don't think I'm always wearing the same set. But like, I didn't have to think about. I like the idea of uniforms. I kind of make my own uniform now, where I just wear like the same black leggings. I mean, I don't have the same pair. I literally have like 15 pairs of leggings, but I wear the same ones. They're comfortable. I know that they're not a sensory issue for me, and like I kind of make a mom uniform. You calculate the nutrition and macros, and yep, sounds great. Done. um, so same with clothes, no decision, uniform. Yep, no sensory issues. It's like, I don't know. Maybe it's boring for other people to look at, but I don't know what to tell you. Less decision making, definitely no sensory issues. Because it's like the weirdest things can like where like jeans I'll always buy, like I'm very intentional about the way like if I buy a pair that's like not, if I think there's gonna be any kind of sensory issues, I'm out. I'm done, I'll return them. But if they don't, but sometimes even then, like when it's cold, I get sensory issues around jeans because I don't, my legs feel even colder in jeans than they do in the like I have lined leggings. I don't know. Just what I wear. Make my life easier. I'm all about, like we were talking yesterday with some of the parents about like the place at the party was a little bit more pricey, and she said something. I was like, though, like I could replicate this at home and have to do it, but then there's all the stress of doing it all by myself, and here I don't have to. And so then I look at like the cost benefit ratio, right? Like what's more important, and mine is my peace right now, and just like not being in overload. So I'm always looking for ways to like not have to have brain overload. Anyways, okay, so what's your question about your graphic novel series? And then let's do if you guys want to do some free oracle card readings, I'll do those. And if not, we don't have to do them this week. It's up to you. Hopefully that sound isn't annoying. I just don't know where else to hook it on to. Oh, you know what? I have a gooseneck thing. Oh well. So EQ, do you want to ask your question about your graphic novel? Anyone else have anything they want to talk about while we're waiting? I got a whole bunch of new cards. Oh, Lotus Siren. Let me see. Where's your question? Let's see if I can find it. McKeegan, what have you been up to? Do you want to retype it? Lotus, do you want to retype it? Exciting. What cards did I get? Okay, so one of them's like a moon oracle card. I didn't bring it down because I didn't have time. Like, so Friday, I had my ice skating lesson. I went to do some last minute stuff for the birthday party. And then after ice skating, I had a shower and I had to get my daughter showered because we went to a concert and she still needs some assistance. And then, because she just has so much hair and it's hard for her to get through. And then Saturday, I woke up late. I had a client and I was supposed to go get a pedicure, but I didn't have time since I woke up late. So I had to cancel that, push that, make the cupcakes and get other stuff together and go do my daughter's hair, go do the party. And then still had errands to run after the party and all of that. I passed out last night. So there was a reason for me telling you that. I don't remember. Oh, that's why I didn't get to look at the cards. So I just got them. I got the package and I was like, oh, I did order a lot. So they're more oracle cardy readings and more like kind of, so I got invited to do an event in Brooklyn later this month, but they want card readings. And I don't really, I mean, I do them like these ones. I was like, she was like, do tarot. Can you fake tarot? And I was like, I don't fake tarot, I think. So I was just getting some backup stuff just in case. Lotus, oh wait, can you rewrite your question? Because I couldn't find it and I don't know why. Let me see if I adjust this. Maybe it'll show back up because I saw it and then I skipped over it to do the people who paid because I felt like that was the only respectful way to do that. So I don't see it. So if you want me to do it, here, wait, hang on. I wanted to know if I'll get my quarterly bonus of excellent service. Yes, you'll get it. I do want to say this to you, that you also need to do like that mind process of like, oh, of course I got it. Of course I'll get it. I'm not even worried about it. Of course it's done. It's fine. Yeah, subscribe to my classes, my community. Yeah, do it. That's right, Regine. Tell them. I think what I might do, I've been thinking about is like, if you don't want to do the community, that's fine. But I might even offer for you to buy the, like you can pay separately if you just want to do the meditations and the workshops. I'll just buy them. Like, you can, I don't know. I'm kind of kicking that around. So if you don't want to do the community, that's fine. But I'll offer those to purchase if you want. That's right. Speak it into existence or think it. So, how are you doing? Focusing on regulating, removing all of the junk from my soul algorithm so things come in the best possible way for me. I'm getting more and more allergic to shit I do not want. That's right. Like that's what happens is where people are like, oh my God, how's this going to happen? It's like, well, when you start changing and shifting your thought process around who you are, you stop tolerating stuff. It doesn't mean that you're like mean to anybody. You're just like, yeah, that's not my vibe anymore. And so that means sometimes some people drop off and it's not like, oh, so sad. It's just like, oh, that's a natural progression. Like you don't still have all the same friends that you had when you were 5. Why? Because you're just not vibrationally in the same alignment. It doesn't mean either one of you is bad or good. It's just like changing the radio channel. You're no longer into that style of music anymore. That's okay. What is this channel about? I am a psychic medium and I do readings every Sunday, but I also talk a lot about self-concept work and manifesting because I believe that manifesting is how you communicate to the universe, like your expressive communication, and intuition is your receptive communication, and your self-concept is how healthy is that communication. So I talk about all 3 of those because they're all very important. You can ask one question because I'm offering just a few free readings here today for free, but normally I do charge for them and then donate 30% to the Community Food Bank of New Jersey. And I am worth the money. Even though my rates are very low, they should be much higher. I'm worth it. So what's your question? And then we're going to move, I don't know. Do y'all want to do card readings today? Maybe we'll skip those since I'm doing the free ones. No, let me see. Oh, here it is, EQ. I haven't showed my artistic and writing to anyone. I'm just wondering about how it will do in the world once I finish it. I want to encourage you. Yes, Regine, please ask. You definitely are deserving. So this is what I would say. Again, this is going to go back to the manifesting thing, is like, when you sit in the like, how will, and I'm saying this too, because I've been where you're at. I'm still working on that as far as like the business end of it. Like, will it be okay? Will people like it kind of thing? Just decide. It's fucking awesome. People fucking love it. What's cousin? That's a lot of questions. So you're going to pick one question. Okay, EQ. Wait, a third one? Or is that for the second one? Oh, I saw your question about like, so that's like literally my thought process around that is not that, hi Violets, how are you? It's been a while. So that's my thought process around that it's not that like, and my feelings from them is like, they're all automatically kicking in my manifesting thought process. I was just going to give you, if you want a free question, just ask a free question. Can you tell me, instead of the initials, can you just give me a first name? Because when you do initials energetically, it always feels like it's a secret. And so I have like a kind of thing with my guides where like, if shit's a secret and you don't really want me to know, they're not going to share with me. And I'm not pushing. I can push. I don't like pushing. It's feels energetically icky to push through. I've had to do it when I've done readings in circles, like in person for the church, and I hate it. It's gross. And it always just feels like going through slime and sludge. And I don't like pushing through that because that's your boundary. Trying to be patient with no kitchen, but okay. I am okay. I'm doing well. So EQ with the graphic novel, sorry, I skip around a little bit. What I would say is, as you're doing the work and writing it, it's isn't it? Okay, let's go back to this. You have to say to yourself, it's fucking great. People love it. And then also get brave and show somebody. But before you do it, decide they're going to like it. Don't go, oh, well, if you is it okay? Like, don't walk through the world boldly. I know that's your name. I just didn't check yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, make a wish. I didn't check yet. So woman. Okay. Oh, wait a second. I'm confused. Oh, wait. No, life is filled with love is asking about with meet cousin with your what is your cousin's first name? Life with life is filled with love. Just want your first name, your cousin's first name. So I feel like with the graphic novel thing, it will, but I also feel like there's this part of you, in order to get it to be there, you need to meet is the name. Okay. Okay. Um, uh, wait, really? Okay. That makes more sense because in my head, I was like, wait, is this from another country? Because then it would make more sense. But in the United States, I'd be like, I don't understand. Sorry. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. Um, got it. Okay. Thank you for clarifying my ignorance. My head, I was like, so you answered it when I asked the question. See, that's how it works. Um, okay. So there's this part of you that's like, it will, but also you need to put the energy behind it that it will be. And I think that that becomes one of the most frustrating things. There's another person here who's a writer, and I was like, yeah, but also you have to believe in it. The people that sell the best are the people that actually believe in the products they're selling. So if you look at a salesperson, what makes them a really good salesperson and makes it really successful is that they actually believe in the shit that they're selling. Or they believe that they have this really amazing ability to just sell anything to anybody. My friend's husband, they have a thing in their family where like we just always win things, and they do. They win shit all the time, like all the time. They're always winning. Like she's like, oh my god, we have so much stuff that he's won. Like they've won TVs. I'm like, are you kidding? And I was like, I love that. That's the belief system you have, that you're always winning stuff. You're just lucky and you always win stuff. So you sort of have to decide like it's not luck, it's a belief system, and you're always getting what you want. So I believe that it will do well. And also, I want you to look at why you've never shown anybody any of your creativity and work. It makes you really vulnerable, right? But also, what do you think they're going to think about it? Really look at that and be honest with yourself about it, because you can't uncover where your blocks are unless you're really honest with yourself. And do it without judgment. And then where did that belief system come from, that it's not valuable or it's not worthy or it's not good enough? Who fucking put that in your head that it wouldn't be good enough, or that your creativity wasn't creative enough? It could be a teacher, it could be a sibling, it could be a parent. So with meat, I feel like they are. I feel like meat has loved you in the capacity that they're capable of loving. So they have a lot of their own dysfunction and insecurities. And so it's like, yes, and wasn't very good at expressing that love. I feel like there's a lot of family dysfunction. So you're like feeling like, oh, it's just us. It's not. There's other dysfunction within your family. Um, but yeah, I do feel like it's a genuine love, but it's a genuine love in the capacity that they're capable of having it. Regine, what? I love that for you. Um, okay. For her, I feel like she's had a lot of trauma. So the challenges that will come up will be around she's going to have some behavioral stuff that comes up for you. Um, where she's going to act out, and doesn't mean that's not going to test your patience or be hard, but it does come from a place of finally feeling like her nervous system can relax and she's safe. So if you're taking her, which I believe you will, um, it becomes the idea of like, think of it like taking a stray animal that's had a lot of abusive homes, where you really have to treat them almost like the way, I know this is like a weird way to put this, but like, so when we got our bunny, a bunny is a prey animal, and you can't just be like, ah, like literally they tell you in order to get used to a prey animal, you have to like lay down on the ground and like just be and be okay with like, if she doesn't interact with you, she just wants to sit next to you, right? Or she doesn't want to talk a lot. She just wants to, or she doesn't look you in the eyes when she talks to you. It's like you meet her where she's at and you make sure you know she's safe, right? Or make sure she knows you're safe. That's what I wanted to say. Um, and you just do it that way. I definitely feel like she's going to need lots of therapy and interventions and things like that, but I think that will come with it. So the first couple of years are going to be a little rough and a little patchy, but it'll get better. As long as she knows that she's like not, it has to be like that this is home, that you love her, that you'll work through things with her, but she definitely needs therapy. And maybe good that you're getting her so young, but like even when someone has like is adopted as a baby, they still have issues with feeling like abandonment wounds. And she may need some OT or something, because I feel like maybe some fine motor issues. Yeah, I do. I do see her staying long term with you. Yeah, I see her staying long term. Um, I would say read that book. If Resonant Depths is reading that, or is recommending, I would highly recommend it. Family dysfunction can show up in a lot of ways, but boundaries is one of them. Yeah, communication issues, lots of insecurities that show up in weird competitive ways within your family. The book's name is Life. Oh, hang on. Hang on. Oh, it's his. Oh, do you know the title of the book, Rothko? Um, Even if your families are quite close, it does not mean that there's not dysfunction happening there. Something caused that. It usually comes from a dysfunctional place. I'm telling you. It's like, an integrated joint family. I'm just telling you that, like, here's the thing. I don't fight about what I get for, like, you're like, what do you, I don't know. That's just what they're telling me. There's dysfunction within it that creates that feeling of competition. It doesn't have to be, you can have a dysfunctional fighting without a family without having fighting and screaming and yelling. That's not necessarily dysfunction. Interactions, enmeshment. Um, there's subtle ways of creating competitive nature between people, or making certain people feel um, within the family. So, and also some people aren't, like, dysfunction can show up in like not being fully emotionally available. Like we all get along and everything's happy and we sweep all the dirty shit under the rug. That's dysfunction. So like everything looks great on the surface, and like there's like, right, and then there's subtle shit that happens where it's like you know, did you see, this is a way to create competition. Did you see how good your cousin did on this? Why can't you be like them? Why didn't you do that well? It's not mean. It's not outright yelling and lying, but it is a way to create a sense of insecurity. At his capacity, he loves you. It might not be the capacity that you want love, but he thinks he does. Okay. Is that it for questions? Because I think I'm going to go. Because I have stuff to do today. Not that you're not important. Sure, Violets, what's your question? And then I need to go. You're welcome, Regine. Hernan? I don't want to say, okay, I'm going to find another way to see what they're saying. So I feel like the way they're making me feel is like, there is a sense of being threatened by you, but it's also the sense of like, the world is unfair to me. And somehow you've infringed on his having a fair experience in life. That does not mean it's valid. It doesn't mean it would even make any sense to you. But I will say I have a sister that's like this, where she's literally said to me, like, we're not in competition. I was like, I've never thought we were in competition. I don't understand where you're getting that from. Like, it's all in his head. It doesn't even feel valid. I mean, I know my mom says my sister, this sister that does, like, has never ever liked me, or, which is fine, like, whatever. But like, even when I was a baby, she pushed my stroller out of the room into a back bedroom, out of the living room, because I apparently was a problem. Right. So it doesn't have to make sense to you. So like, it doesn't make any sense to me, because I always looked up to her and thought she was like, she hung the moon and the stars and was so talented and beautiful. And but there was something that was created in her mind, and she's also very mentally unwell, but like, it doesn't always make sense why people have the thoughts that they have and act the way that they have. On the other hand, there is the, like, I fight with this a lot because I'm like, your beliefs create your reality. And sometimes I want to remake people, and other times I just don't want to have to. And that's okay too. So the idea is, if you really want a close relationship with him, just decide and have him show up the way you want him to show up. Don't tell him out loud. You tell him in a picture, tell him in your brain. Don't do anything on the 3D. Don't try and push it or force it, just like in your head. Oh, look, he's so nice to me. And then even when he acts like a jerk the next time you see, you're like, oh my God, it's so nice to have him be so nice. Like, you just decide not to believe what's in front of you. And it doesn't make you crazy. It just means you're going to persist on it until he shows up the way you want him to show up. You get tired of walking around on eggshells with him. And now I'm more honest. Excuse you. Because he's not capable of it, and because everybody decided he wasn't capable of expressing it, and so he doesn't. Because like, because in people's head like that, like in my sister's head, she's right, and it's all, that's exactly how it is. Like, there is no other reality than the one she's created. There is no other possibility, and that's how he is. This is how it is. It's very black and white. Alrighty. I'm gonna go though, because I've been on for about 2 hours. A little over. Y'all have a good one, okay? Yeah. So sometimes we're trying to like be logical about everything, and there is just no logic for it. You just have to, and then if you want to manifest it differently, again, no logic for it, just decide. And when people are like, that's not real, that's made up, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Well, there's a lot of people who can say, and I am one of them, I have created everything and even the bad stuff. And once you're aware of what it is, then you really do are in charge of how your life shows up. And even when you're manifesting, like if you're consciously creating it, right? You're thinking about it and it doesn't show the way you want, just decide, give it meaning. Not you can decide if that means it doesn't work, or you can decide, oh, this is just part of the process. Because the reality is, this is how it is. And just keep persisting in it, and it shows up. Anyways, all right, I'll see y'all next week. Have a good one.